Huh.
Hello and welcome to Rocket PC Gaming. My name is Rocket and we are here to talk about rocket design in Kerbal Space Program. Now, one of the things that happens on my stream a lot is people ask about building a rocket, that their rocket is flipping out of control and basically having a difficult time with it. So this video is a quick short video on how to design your rockets. Alright, so there's a few components that every rocket needs. Number one is a command pod. Whether it's a probe command or a manned command, you still need a command pod. So in this instance, we're going to use the Mark I command pod. So even if you're new to Kerbal Space Program and you're starting out in career mode, this is going to be one of the first components that you have available to you. Alright, so to finish off the command pod, because we want to be able to recover it, we're going to add on a parachute. Right? Now we need to be able to connect an engine to it, but we don't want to be permanently attached to it. So we're going to use a decoupler. Now the second main component that you need for a rocket is obviously the boom, the thing that makes it go. So in this instance, we are going to grab a Hammer solid rocket booster. Now a solid rocket booster is different from a liquid fuel booster, as a solid rocket booster is once you activate it, it will not stop burning until you are out of fuel. So you have less control over the rocket. And also in Kerbal Space Program is that the engines are not able to gimbal. Gimbal means that they are able to move or vector their thrust in a multitude of directions, indicated by me moving the mouse around here. So we're going to go ahead and make this a liquid fueled rocket, and we are going to use the LT-45 swivel engine. Now not all liquid fuel engines can gimbal, but this one can. It has a vectoring range of up to 3 degrees. That means the bell here on the engine can rotate up to 3 degrees in any direction, right? So the next thing on a rocket is that you want to keep it as streamlined as you possibly can. The more streamlined the rocket is, the less drag it's going to produce, which is what's going to hold you back. Now, because the engine can gimbal so well, we don't actually need any fins, because fins add drag. So, but however, if we have mystery goo containers here up at the front, on the nose, or something else, other things hanging off of this, then we are going to need fins in the back to provide even more drag, because you need more drag at the back of the rocket than at the front of the rocket. If you do not, it will start to flip out. So we are going to multiply these tanks here, so I can kind of illustrate this. I think that's about the most that this is going to take. Yes. Alright, so this is a long, skinny rocket with no fins, and we're just going to go ahead and launch it. And you will see that it will actually fly just fine. Alright, so we're going to throttle up, engage your SAS, and we're going to go ahead and launch our rocket. Now there's a couple things to remember. Is this little wing piece that you see here in your nav ball, this represents the nose. This dot represents the nose of the rocket, which is right here, right? This circle right here is your prograde or velocity vector. This is where your momentum is taking you. So we're going to start to move over here along the 90 degree. Now we want to keep the nose, or this point, inside of this circle. Now if we start to veer outside of this, this is what's called angle of attack. Angle of attack is the difference between where your velocity is taking you and where your nose is pointed. And the further out they are, the more likely your rocket will spin out. But as long as we don't go too far with it, too fast, and we stay inside the circle, the rocket will maintain control. As there's not a whole lot of drag pushing on the nose to pull it down this way. And that is all it takes to make a rocket. Now the thing to watch out for when you're designing a rocket is to make sure that you don't over-engineer it, which is what I see happen a lot. It really doesn't take that many pieces to make a rocket. In our next video, we're going to talk about how to get to orbit. Very, very simply. Hope to see you then.